Head coach Kevin Burch, thank you for taking time with us off the block. Congratulations on being named the new head coach for Ohio State. So let's dig right into it. What are your your instant reaction to being named the head coach and Pete's successor?
Extremely fortunate. This is an amazing program, special to me, special to a lot of people, and the support I've had has been really, really cool to see. But it's a great opportunity because I get to work with great people in a great environment with a great facility. Um, that as soon as you walk on this campus with these and see these facilities and meet with these people, it's pretty clear why it's the best program in the country right now.
Let's talk about the reaction that you've gotten from other people, your friends, your families, former players. What have been some of the sentiments that you've gotten from these people?
Well, my grandfather went here, so my family has brought me up and raised me as a Buckeye. So, when they found out, there were a lot of tears, a lot of excitement, um, a lot of support from the coaching staff here, from other coaches within the athletics department. Our administrators have been super helpful and supportive, but it's been overwhelmingly positive and very humbling and very motivating because when I hear all that support and all that positivity, I really want to make all those people proud and develop a program that they can all be proud of.
Um, you in the press release, and everybody who knows anything about you knows that you've had quite a bit of championship experience, whether it's with Charlie at Springfield, whether it's with Russ at Penn State, whether it's at UC Irvine, or obviously with Pete. We'll get into Pete because we know you have a special relationship with Pete. But let's taking Pete out of the equation. What is one piece of advice that you're going to be taking from the other coaches that you have the luxury of coaching alongside with that you will implement as head coach of Ohio State men's volleyball?
Never make assumptions. I think that's a really big one. And a big part of that is the communication piece of that. Always talk to the players, always talk to the people that are around you, and don't put yourself on an island. It's going to be tough. Using the people around you is going to be a big part of that. And I think the other part of it is obviously I had a very small part in those years, those championship years, but to be able to see head coaches and what they're doing in order to win those championships and what it truly takes was something that I'll take with me into this job. And because every single day I'm going to know what the expectation is and what it takes to truly win at a high level in a sustainable way. And so in short, that's what I'll be bringing with me from day one here.
Let's talk about Pete. He's a legend, and I'm going to say it myself. The Covelli Center does not happen without Pete. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, I mean, with respect to the Covelli family that and the donors that help make this building possible, this is, to a certain extent, this is the house that Hanson built. This is a special place that a special person helped create. It's been fun talking with him over the last few weeks about where he got his start. He one of his first offices was up in the bell tower of the football stadium, and he talked about taking the carpet the leftover carpet from Woody Hayes when he was here, and some of those coaches after him, and kind of doing his own remodeling of that office. And it's just a much different time, in large part because of the work that he put in, and the type of person that he is.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Pete. Obviously, you've been on the sidelines for with him for several seasons. What will you miss most about having Pete on the sideline with you?
Just the camaraderie, I mean, he always sat, the row in front of me on the bus rides. That'll be always fun. It was funny when he told us that he was going to be retiring. The thing that kept coming to my mind was every morning when we would meet, him and I would have a cup of coffee in the office every morning and just talk about the program, talk about life in general, talk about anything. And those are the conversations that I'll never forget, and that I'll miss by far the most.
Have you had a conversation since you've been named head coach with him?
Yeah, so it's funny. Janine spoke with me and talked to me and offered me the job. And the first question I asked her, I said, "So can I call Pete, or do you want to call Pete?" And so we immediately called him together. And it was a really cool experience. And to be able to tell him that I got it was a pretty exciting feeling. And but since then, yeah, we talk every day. We had his Hall of Fame banquet last night for the USA Volleyball Hall of Fame induction, and that was a pretty special night to see him be awarded. That Hall of Fame induction was pretty cool to watch. Around, he deserves that as much as anybody to be mentioned in a lot of those same names. But yeah, it's been very cool. It's been really cool to watch, to sit there and pick his brain about everything. It's been really fun.
So even with him being retired, you also ask him for some advice here and there?
Oh yeah, I told him get ready for a weekly call because it's going to be happening often. So he's all for it.
Very nice. Obviously, you're following a legend, and sometimes the adage is you don't want to follow the legend, you want to follow the person that replaces the legend, but you don't have that luxury. But everybody who knows, or anything that anybody knows about Ohio State men's volleyball, we're going to associate with Pete. But how are you going to put your imprint on the program?
Well, I think it's replacing a legend is never easy, and I'm not gonna. At no point am I gonna plan to act like it is. But I'm also not going to compare myself to him. I have to do this within my personality. But I also want to keep the same values, the same culture that he helped build. We believe in a lot of the same things, and so those types of key pillars will stay. But we're also going to look to use technology and look to be innovative in every way we can. This is a changing game, as we all know. It's constantly changing. You have to be innovative, and I think that's one area where I will always look to be at the forefront. It's a main priority if you want to be in the forefront of your sport in a sustainable way. And so I'm going to look to be as innovative as I can at all times, and I'm going to challenge my staff and players to be the same way.
We hear some noise in the background. Can you tell us what's going on?
Oh yeah, there's lots of noises right now. They're getting ready for a wrestling donor tour open house tonight. So I think they're getting just some final things ready. I can't even see where that noise is coming from. There's also some weightlifting in the back behind this wall. It's where the wrestling facility is, and it's amazing. But the wrestlers are already getting after it and lifting weights.
So tell us a little bit more about the Covelli Center. Obviously, we know you're going to open it up for men's volleyball in the 2020 season, but and I know off camera you've been just giddy about it, but tell us more about it. Why do you think it's going to be beneficial to the program?
It's a state-of-the-art facility in every way. They've taken the best pieces from every arena, from Maples at Stanford to Poly to Gentile to all these different areas. They take the best from what they've seen and they've applied it to here. And we have everything from 4 practice courts with 30 feet of space on either end for full serving space to the athletic training room that has all the state-of-the-art technology you could possibly imagine, to our locker room that has 5 TVs in it, to the jumbotrons that will have the a TiVo replay for practice training, to the TerraFlex floor that we're going to have for match days, to the Shoemaker Center, which is right across the street, that has a rehab pool, a saltwater pods, you name it, they have it. It's the best of the best in every way, shape, and form, and it's a pretty cool opportunity for us. And it's when you walk in here, it's the wow facility. In short, it's just the wow facility, and for it to be a volleyball specific wow facility is pretty cool and something that we cherish.
And 2 more questions. So, how have your plans changed for the summer and fall now that you're the head coach?
It's still a lot of recruiting. I think every college coach will tell you that. It's a lot of learning. I'm trying to keep myself open and meet with as many people on campus as I can to learn as much as I can in a short period of time. It's a new position, and one thing I will always keep open is just the ability to learn. I never want to stop learning, and I always want to be open to different ideas and perspectives. And so if there's one thing that will change, being in a completely different role, it's just going to be trying to learn as much as I possibly can.
And final question, and I realize that it might be unfair to ask you after being named head coach, but I'll ask you anyways. What are your expectations for next season?
Expectations are to compete at a high level. we have talent in this gym, and it was a little overshadowed by injuries this last year. But we have high expectations. I'm young, I can be ambitious, but I also expect us to work hard every single day and to train every single day like we're going to win a championship. I think in the end, it's the preparation and the daily work habits that I expect us to show on a daily basis and consistent basis. The results will come from there. Being good people, being continuing those habits in the classroom, on the court, preparing for professional life those expectations are the most important expectations to me, and something that I expect our guys to show on a daily basis.
And sorry, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. Obviously, since you got promoted to head coach, there's a vacancy for an assistant coach. So, how are you going to go about filling out your staff?
Well, right now it's my top priority. We say here it's the people, the tradition, the excellence, and the people come first for a reason. And I'm going to be speaking a lot with our players, our support staff, to find the right person, the right fit, that's going to help us get to a high level or get back to a high level as quickly as we possibly can, and then sustain that. But it's got to be the right fit from a personality standpoint, not just with me and the staff, but with the players especially, because in the end, that's what it's about. It's about the players, and we want to make sure that it's somebody that's going to benefit them at a high level.
Well, thank you for taking time with us off the block, and thank you for giving us a preview of Covelli behind you. And congratulations on being named head coach, and we wish you nothing but the best, not only in the 2020 season, but down the road.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you giving us the time and letting me show this beautiful place off to you guys.